We're going to look at the 100 and specifically thinking about layering. And actually, we're going to think about layering in two different ways. So the first layering is just how we might set up an exercise. And this is a really good way to think about how you start teaching when you are teaching an exercise, to get yourself into a regular pattern so you know where you are and you've included everything you want to include, because it feels like there's a lot to get out of your mouth to start with. So the 100, we work a little ab prep, so a little curl up with the upper body. So we're going to start with that and just think about this layering and building. So we start with our crook lying position, first of all, okay? So that's the start position. So I would state the start position. And then we're going to look at the action. So Ruby's going to lift her head, lift her shoulders, and reach her arms nice and long. Good. And then lower back down again. So we've got a start position, layer 1, layer 2, action, go again. Nice. So the good thing is right now your client is doing something, okay? They're not just lying there while you chat, okay? Although Ruby is right now. So let's go and layer on our next layer, which is going to be the breath. So we're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale to lift the head and lift the shoulders. Inhale, stay, and exhale to release back down again. Let's try that again. Inhale, prepare. Exhale to lift the head, lift the shoulders. Inhale, just pause there, and then exhale as you release back down again. And then, of course, our final layer perhaps here might be any cues you might have, any specific cues, any corrections you might have, anything you might want them to think about while they're doing the exercise. So let's do that now. We're going to inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift the head, lift the shoulders. Try and keep the pelvis neutral. Drop the coccyx down towards the mat a little bit more if you could. Going that way. Make it the space for the blueberry. There you go. Nice. And then release that back down again. So think about that on this very last one, Ruby. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to lift the head and lift the shoulders. Inhale to stay. And then exhale to release that back down again. And just rest there. Take a nice pause. So that would be our first kind of area of layering, if you like, the sort of how you set up and teach through an exercise. Start position, action, breath, and any other business. So any other cues or corrections or things you might want to think about there. Then our next thinking of layering, if you like, is where we would layer up levels of an exercise so we can build ourselves into doing an exercise. So we've already done the little ab prep part of the 100, which is an exercise in and of itself anyway. So we're going to start with those arm pumps that come with the 100 and get that going. So you're going to relax onto the mat, but not too long. So we're just going to hover the hands just off the mat, and then you're just going to start pumping them. All right. We're keeping broad through the collarbones and keeping the arms nice and long as you do your pumps. That's really nice. So we're just getting her to think about that exercise. Lovely, that area. Then you're going to work the breath. So you're going to inhale for 5 pumps and exhale for 5 pumps. Okay. Definitely try and inhale through the nose, and you can exhale through the mouth if you feel like you need to. If you can out of the nose, then that's great. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. This is your last one. Reach the arms long and then land back down again. Nice, simple lay. You could almost put that into your warm up. All right, and then we're going to build that. We're adding the ab prep. So let's inhale, prepare, exhale, scoop that upper body up, hold here. Inhale, pump the arms, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Just one more round. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Reach the arms long and then release everything back down, landing the head and resting again. Now we're going to layer in the legs into tabletop. So bringing one leg up into tabletop, stabilize the pelvis, bring the other leg up into tabletop, hold. Keep the head where it is right now. Float the hands up, pump the arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Good, just do one more round there, Ruby. Nice, so this is a little more challenging. She's got to work a bit to hold the ribs and the pelvis to connect while she's got those legs in tabletop. You can release them down and take a little pause there. Right, so now we're going to put those two together. Ready? And we're going to layer up from there. Okay. So zip up your tummy muscles, legs up to tabletop, one at a time. Good. Okay. Nice. Lift the head, lift the shoulders, and hold. Pump the arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Nice. Now we can hold her here if that's appropriate. On your next exhale, you're going to reach one leg out long towards that wall. Where is it? Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. Inhale, she's getting confused with the breath there. Exhale, the other leg reaches away. It's nice. Inhale, bring it back. One more each side like that. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. Good. Final round, you're going to reach both legs. Exhale. Laughing is good. Makes those up. Yes. Nice. Inhale to pull the legs in. Exhale, reach away. You have got one more round. You're just going to keep your legs out there. Exhale, take them away. One more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reach everything long and land. Good job. She's having a little shake off there. Nicely done. Just take your arms out wide for me here, Ruby, just to take a rest off. Roll both knees over to one side and ease your breath into the ribs there. Really nice. I quite often include a little supine rotation after doing the 100. You can go ahead and do the other side, just because it kind of helps to release off the hips, release off those rib cage, release off the obliques that attach into the rib cage. They've been working really hard with that curl up. Nice, just bringing the hands back up and release back down by your side and just rest there. So I hope you can see there's sort of slightly two different ways of layering. We can layer in terms of just how we're teaching an exercise, or we can teach that exercise layering in different levels. Quite often I'll work those different levels when I'm teaching a class, and I'll ask my clients to stay at the level that they find the most appropriate for them. A lot of people find that long leg reaching a real challenge, especially into the lumbar spine. They're not able to stabilize through the pelvis and the lumbar spine. I much prefer them to keep it down to either a single leg reach or you've got both feet on the floor.